you're listening to.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
you're listening to the Snowman in the Morning podcast.
Did you not get the memo?
Insanity ensues.
Can't wait.
Did that really happen last night in Dallas?
Yeah, it did.
Did that really go? Did that really go kablooey for the Cowboys? Because their season's over.
Yeah, it really happened. The Strouds just said, come get it, and we got them.
I'm so happy about that. Let me wish a special happy birthday to my buddy Brian Barnhart, the longtime voice of the Illinois Fighting Illini for football and men's basketball. I had a chance to meet him in 2005. And, well, actually, I met him in 1996. And I saw him again in 2005. And he's been my friend for almost 30 years. So, Brian, happy birthday to you, my friend. ILLINI. We love you. Now, back to business. Dear Dallas Cowboys, your season's over.
Yeah, it's cooked. It is flat out cooked.
It's done, skis. 34-10.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me this Cowboys offense, in which some people actually believe Cooper Rush was the better option, only put up 10 points and had a chance to score at the end of the thing?
And didn't.
Nope.
Like, everyone thought Dallas was going to be a contender in the NFC East, and here they are folding quicker than lawn chairs. Like, they don't have a shot now.
No. They got a shot in the lottery.
If they're lucky.
If they're lucky. If the Cowboys would be the only team. If the NFL ever had a draft lottery, the Cowboys would be the only team that would miss it every year.
Yeah, they'd be eligible and just keep missing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's their luck.
A Pizzle's with us. He says, good morning. Good morning to you, A Pizzle. Coming to us from Florida. And he says, all in. That's what I'm laughing at. The Cowboys said they were all Jerry Jones, who deserves all of the blame for this season, said they were all in. Now they're all in the trash can.
Now, I don't know who to blame worse, but considering we don't have one thing, quite frankly, there you go. Yes, Dak, it's you. Your greed, your overbearing contract, every last bit of it, and the fact you got Gerald wrapped around your finger because you can't do squat.
Can't do a damn thing. And he's injured. He's gone. Yeah. He's done for the year.
Yeah.
He's done for the year.
He signs that contract at the start of the season and then goes down with a blown up hamstring.
And they're putting CeeDee Lamb in danger of missing next season.
Yep.
Trotting him out there with a shoulder issue. Right?
Yeah.
This is stupid.
It's ridiculous.
This is absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
This is stupid that they're doing this. Who's going to be... All right, let's just start at the top here. Who's going to be their quarterback next year?
Unfortunately, Dak Prescott.
Yeah, unfortunately is the right word.
He'll come back from the injury. He's getting paid all this boatload of money, and Gerald's going to ride him like a horse until he ends up collapsing.
Until he goes to sleep.
Well, we all know how Gerald feels about beating dead horses.
Well, since you
since I brought that up, ladies and gentlemen, I feel bad for the Cowboys fans because, quite frankly,
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
that's every season they've had since 1996.
You know,
And
there
that's the
was
problem.
there was so much talk at the top of the season about ending the curse, ending the drought, and of course, the drought being them not being in an NFC championship since 1996. I
Yeah.
watched that NFC championship game, and if there was ever a game I cheered hard for the Green Bay Packers, that was it. I can't stand the Dallas Cowboys, nor can I stand the moronic Republic of Cowboy Nation. I absolutely respect, though, the Cowboys of the 90s. I respect them. And I
That
love
was
Jimmy
their
Johnson.
gold. That was their golden team.
Mm-hmm. Three
I mean,
Super Bowls in 4 years.
Don't get me wrong. What Staubach did way back when was special.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the team they had in the 90s was
it. Was
that,
it.
in video game terms, that was their god team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was their entire 99's team put together to stomp on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did.
As we lament the Cowboys of the 90s. See, Gerald got it right when he let Jimmy Johnson build the team.
Yeah, because Jimmy knew football.
Mm-hmm. He got it right when Jimmy Johnson built the team.
And now, unfortunately, micromanaging this thing is run the Cowboys into the ground.
Mm-hmm. 49ers went through it with Jed York. Then they got all that trash out of the way and brought in the current regime that they have.
And look at how the Niners have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Look at New England.
Game appearances, got a couple Super Bowl appearances, and pretty soon they're going to win that 6th Super Bowl.
Oh, easily.
I would love for it to be in Santa Clara. So that's one of the reasons I'm not pulling for this one. I want it to be in Santa Clara when they win the Super Bowl.
The simplest thing I can say, look at the dynasty we had in New England.
Mm-hmm.
When Kraft let Belichick build the team,
mm-hmm.
New England was unstoppable.
Belichick knew football.
Exactly. Look who he learned under.
Look at the 49ers of the 80s. 80s and 90s, if you think about it.
Yeah.
With Carmen Policy in the bunch. 5 Super Bowls in that time.
We had 6 in the 2000s and 2010s.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Brady gets a start because of an injury and
because the
Hall of Fame career that he has
Brady gets
in the same sentence, and y'all know how I feel about Brady, but I do pay him a lot of respect. Tom Brady is a Hall of Famer, period.
We actually have the Jets to thank for that because they blew up Drew Bledsoe.
Yep. And then the Hall of Fame career began.
Yeah. Game 1, Bledsoe goes down after getting absolutely trucked.
Oh yeah.
And Brady takes over.
And which caused a lot of internal bleeding, I believe.
Yes. Because he had, I think, 2 broken ribs and a bruised lung on that hit.
Yeah.
Like I said, he got flat out trucked.
And then he tells Tom Brady to go out and sling it. The Patriots win the Super Bowl at the buzzer, and the dynasty is on.
Yeah. And then Bledsoe goes to Buffalo, then he goes to Dallas, and
meanwhile, Tom Brady is still doing his thing in New England.
And bringing home the trophies.
Mm-hmm. See, quarterbacks like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Steve Young, and yes, I mentioned Steve Young a lot. You know why? Because Steve Young is in the pantheon of great quarterbacks. End of story. Okay.
Flat out.
Montana, Brady, Young, Breeze, who else? Kelly, Marino. Yep. That's for you, A Pizzle. You know what? Let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll stay with football, and we're
Okay.
going to talk about some great ass quarterbacks.
I'm all for it.
All right, we're just going to have some fun and talk about some great quarterbacks that we've seen and you folks in the chat have seen. Our feedback zone is brought to you in part by Fanatics, officially licensed.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. Our producer says there's a little bit of buzzing going on. So what I'm going to do after the show is switch the mixer from the one I have been using to the one I use on the road. And then I will just plan to get a new one in studio. All right. Great quarterbacks is the subject of this segment here. What?
No, I just had something in my ear, dude.
Okay.
Great QBs. Man, you have any idea how long that list is going to be?
Oh, I know. Victor Locke is with us from Chicago. Says, good morning, Kings. How are y'all doing? We're doing great. We're doing great.
No, Vic, you're not getting kicked around already. We did that before you showed up.
No, we did our kicking and we got tired.
Yeah.
We got tired.
I about broke my foot in the horse, so we're good here.
Shut up. You should just shut up.
Well, we're only
Listen,
20 minutes. We're only 10 minutes into the show, and I already get that.
Toe at my horse, okay?
I decided to send a horse head over to Vinny, so we're good.
Vinny ain't gonna like that. The hell is this? What the hell is this? Dog father, I'm gonna get you for this, you bastard.
I didn't do nothing. Blame the big dog for this.
What the hell have we created here? If y'all were with us last Thursday, you know where those voices came from. Okay.
Yep.
Great.
And trust me, we got more coming with them.
Yeah, we do. Great quarterbacks. Where the hell do we start?
Oh, let's see.
Because
We already listed off a handful of them.
I've been watching NFL since 1980. Okay.
Yep.
And that is when I was introduced to the King, Joe Montana, against the Saints. How far are we going with this list of GOAT quarterbacks? You can go as far back as Johnny U. Absolutely. I'm just going back as far as when I started watching. Because if I try to go back anywhere in the past, I'm not going to have as
we ain't going to have enough time.
No, we're not.
We just ain't going to have enough time.
We're just not going to have enough time.
I mean, just the fact of the quarterbacks when I was watching.
Look, the fact that we're trying to contain this to 20 minutes should tell you something. Okay?
I'll just give you 5 off the top of my head that I remember watching. Obviously, we got to start here in New England with Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia, Donovan F. McNabb.
Donovan McNabb. Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, Vince Young. Yeah, Aaron McNair and then Vince Young.
Mm-hmm.
Cunningham in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously Warren Moon's in the mix as well. Marino down in Miami.
Oh my God, Warren Moon. How can we forget Warren Moon and what he did? Especially with Houston.
Yes.
You know, that K-gun, that run and shoot offense.
You also can't go wrong with prime Favre.
Mm-mm. Favre kept pissing me off, but I loved it every time. Because Favre, didn't it seem like Favre would pull a play out of his ass?
Yeah, exactly. He was one of the first true magicians of the game.
Mm-hmm. Mention 1 and 1A, Brady and Montana. Okay. The first game I saw with Montana, as I said, was 1980 against the Saints. When the Niners were down 35-7. And the next thing you know, it's 35-all.
Mm-hmm.
And he led them to the overtime win, 38-35. That's when the legend of Montana was born.
Of course.
Came 1981.
Yeah.
And that season.
Of course, you can't forget, Boomer Esiason.
No.
Out in Cincinnati.
Can't forget Boomer. Can't forget Boomer.
Jim Kelly with the Giants.
Oh, Machine Gun Kelly. He and you know what? Kelly's offense with the Bills was so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jim Kelly was just evil at times.
When and Jim Kelly didn't want to play in the NFL.
No.
He wanted to play his career in the USFL, but then it folded.
Yeah.
It folded. And then he signs with the Buffalo Bills, and the rest is history.
Exactly.
The rest is history.
Of course, we can't forget, some of those kids nowadays will remember guys like Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Eli and Peyton Manning.
Oh, do not get me started on the rivalry, New England and Indy. That is what defined so much of the mid to late 2000s.
Sounds like what I went through with Steve Young and Troy Aikman.
Yep.
Because sometimes I will say, F you, Troy Aikman, while I'm standing and applauding him.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who we forgot? Thank you, Victor. John Elway.
98, 99 world champ.
Forgot John Elway.
Because he's so underrated.
The battles that he had with the Bills.
Yes, but the thing about it is Elway is that underrated in a way.
He is. He was
that good. I mean, come on, let's not forget he had one of the best runners in the game.
Terrell Davis.
Exactly. Old TD himself.
And he had Shannon Sharp at his disposal.
Oh, yeah.
He had Shannon Sharp at his disposal.
And the thing about it is those Denver teams were underrated going into every single season.
Yep.
And 98, 99, Elway shut everybody up.
Oh, my God. I watched Super Bowl 32. Okay. I never picked it because I had like a ton of people. I had a ton of people, call me and say, all right, who you picking? I'm like, what? Like, who you picking? Are you going for the Packers or are you going for the Broncos? I love underdogs.
Oh, yeah.
And Denver was a 7-point underdog. I never picked that game for my friends. I did pick it for a sports book. And won $500.
Nice.
Because I called correctly the winner of that game, which was Denver, and the MVP, which was Elway.
Yeah.
No, take that back. I didn't say Elway. It was Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis was the MVP in Super Bowl 32. Elway got his MVP in 33.
Yeah, because of those drives. Yeah, because the drives he had late in that game.
Drew Brees. Oh, my God. I love Drew Brees.
Phillip Rivers.
Michael Vick.
Oh, Vick, when he was in Atlanta, he was a cheat code.
He was. But you know something? Let's go old school. Steve Young was a walking cheat code.
Yes.
I remember one game in 93 against the Atlanta Falcons. They were late in the third quarter, and Steve Young was driving the 49ers toward the lead. He drops back to pass. Now, check this out. I have this clip somewhere. I have to find it. He drops back to pass. Everybody in Atlanta is chasing him. He was stutter stepping and he's mixing it up, spin moves, and finally he throws it. The ball got tipped, and Steve Young comes racing in and caught the ball.
That's just Steve Young in a shell,
You can't
dude.
make that up.
Steve Young could make plays out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
And that's
Out
the
of
thing is,
nowhere.
so many of these great quarterbacks were so different in their styles.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, Tom Brady stood in the pocket and could deliver bombs all day.
Man, look. As much as I hated Tom Brady as an opponent, I adore Tom Brady as the quarterback. Y'all got to understand, my hatred to Tom Brady is what he did against teams I was rooting for, okay? And how he was taking over the league. Does he belong in the GOAT? I will say this truthfully from my heart. All right? With all the numbers that are out there, does he belong in the GOAT conversation? You damn right he does.
Now,
if I truthfully don't put him in the GOAT conversation, then I'm doing a disservice to my fans.
Yes.
I'm doing a disservice to our fans of the show.
I'm not even remotely being a homer about it. I mean, I grew up with watching Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I went through the Bledsoe years.
Yes.
With New England.
Mm-hmm.
And then we came in through Brady.
Right.
It was a night and day difference with how Brady was playing.
Mm-hmm. Just like with me, DeBerg preceded Montana.
Mm-hmm.
And then Montana took over, and you know the rest.
Exactly. And the thing about it is Montana not only could step up in the pocket, he could also still move in a way.
He can run. He could run.
And Steve Young perfected that style.
Mm-hmm. When Montana, oh my Lord, when Montana would put up numbers, everybody would look and go, what? Because, and they don't want to put Montana in the GOAT conversation. I'll tell you exactly why. Because of the weapons that Bill Walsh, Carmen Policy, surrounded him with.
Jerry Rice being one of them.
Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Roger frickin' Craig, Tom Rathman, later on with Steve Young, Ricky Waters, right?
And
surrounded him with Brent Jones. He had Brent Jones. Matter of fact, Montana had two tight ends.
Yeah.
John Frank and Brent Jones.
Look at the weapons that Brady had at his disposal through his career. Biggest name, obviously, is Gronk, but in 2006, let's not forget that record year that Brady had, the majority of his TDs went to Moss.
Went to Randy Moss. And I was working again. I got a funny story. I was working a game at Proviso West, back home in Chicago. I was working a game at Proviso West, and I, hand to God, as I was in a sequence with Whitney Young coming back from a deficit, I saw Brady throw his 50th touchdown pass of the year, and I saw him throw it to Moss.
That deep bomb that Brady threw. I know what you're talking about, too.
Yes, because they missed one earlier. They missed one. The play before, it was supposed to go to Moss, but Moss couldn't catch up with it. So what does Brady do? What all great quarterbacks do?
Dials it up again.
Dial it up again, and this time it went for a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, everyone figured it'd be because it was coming in off the half.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone figured, okay, well, you know what? That's their one deep shot. Brady's just going to start dinking and dunking again.
Wrong.
Dials the same play up. This time hits Moss in transition. Hits Moss in transition on that deep slant.
Yep.
Goes for 7.
The difference, that deep slant the first time where they misconnected was over the middle. The second one, the deep slant, ran to the border.
Yeah.
Ran to the sidelines, and Brady hit him perfectly. He hit him perfectly.
Vic brings up another name, Dante Culpepper.
Mm-hmm. Spent many great years with the Minnesota Vikings. Many great years with Minnesota
And again, Dante had a different way of doing things. He could move out of the pocket and throw on the run.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Favre was
out of Central Florida.
Yeah, Brett Favre was your prototypical gunslinger. He was literally Bon Jovi on the field because he was living on a prayer half the time.
And most of them got answered.
Exactly. Look at the well-known Monday night game. against Oakland.
No, I got a better one for you.
Okay.
The Monday night game against Minnesota in 2000.
Yes.
I was living in Minnesota at the time. I was living in Bloomington, Minnesota. I beg your pardon, not Minneapolis. And that pass that Brett Favre threw to Antonio frickin' Freeman.
He did what?
How? And my friend Troy and I were looking at that game because it went overtime. I got home from work. And we're both looking at that game saying, okay, Minnesota's going to get the ball back because it's 3rd down and long. And then that happened.
Brett Favre's like, y'all ain't getting nothing back.
And then that happened. And on Al Michaels, I love you for the call that you put to that game.
Thought it was an incompletion. He actually caught that. He did what?
Like, he did what? We're both, Troy and I are both looking at each other going, that did not happen. Ain't no way that happened. Went to sleep, woke up the next day, went to work because I worked at Camp Snoopy in the Mall of America. Everybody was talking about that play. Viking fans, Packer fans.
And that's the thing.
Everybody.
The best quarterbacks give us the water cooler moments.
And that was one of them.
Yeah. I mean, even in high school, we were talking about that game. Because a lot of my
all
teachers
I remember was the call of, he did what?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, folks, I got a present for you. Since we're talking about that particular game, we go back to 2000 at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The video and audio are courtesy of ABC and ESPN. It's Monday Night Football. We're tied at 20 in overtime, and then this happens.
Favre lays it up for Freeman, and it's incomplete. Or did he make the catch at the 15? Yes. What are they going to rule it? He caught it? Touchdown. He did what?
Ref was right on it.
And the thing is, that was off his back foot.
Yep. That was off his back foot. Here it is again.
Yeah.
Take a look. Plus, I'm using YouTube, and I'm giving all the credit to all their owners.
Lays it up for Freeman, and it's incomplete.
Okay, first off, Freeman was brilliant keeping that ball off the ground.
Oh, man.
He did what?
He did what?
That was just unbelievable.
Well, the Packers are going wild. The crowd's going wild. I mentioned there's nothing to challenge, but they'll have to look at it.
Look at the official.
The ref was like, damn it, he did that.
The ref's looking like, what the hell just happened?
It hit the back of
And he had to go through the protocol. Watch this.
Are you left arm bring the ball up in the air? And he 6 inches off the grass. Unbelievable.
That ball did not hit the ground.
The ball is on his body, and it's got himself a touchdown.
Once again, we are reviewing the play on the field.
Ball went through Dishman's hands. Never hit the ground.
They're trying to bring the teams back onto the field if they overturn it, but I haven't seen anything to overturn
You
it
can't
yet.
overturn that.
No,
There's nothing to overturn.
Nope.
Antac hasn't even gotten over to the
and then there's no contact.
Dishman didn't even
tidy up afterwards. He just assumed that it hit the ground. The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Pretty good call by the guys on the field.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have.
How you couldn't film that? What did Al Michael later said? You couldn't film that scene in a movie and make it look that good.
No, you couldn't. And the thing is, it was a soaked day in Green Bay.
It was raining and it snowed in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was living there. I was living in Minnesota at the time. And you know the border war.
Yep.
You know the border. You're familiar with the border war.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Crap.
Snowman told me to sit in for him for this particular thing. And this particular thing involves the National Basketball Association. Now, I know some of y'all may be asking, what the hell is he doing here talking NBA stuff? He doesn't know that much. I've forgotten more than you tried to inform yourself of. But I want to talk about Golden State Warriors. They're only a half game out of the lead in the Western Conference. They already kicked Oklahoma City's ass. They've yet to see the Lakers, but they're going to put a foot in their ass. And I'm predicting that the Golden State Warriors will be the top seed in the Western Conference when it's all said and done in April. Now, I know we got a long way to go before that. But you know something? I'm sick and tired of people saying that the dynasty of the Warriors is over. Oh, yeah? Riddle me this, Batman. If the dynasty is over, why are they sitting up top the Western Conference or toward the top of the Western Conference? You got an answer for me? That's what I thought. You don't. Speaking of Oklahoma City, I got to finish something I started twice, and then my wife came in here, zinged me, made us all laugh our asses off. What? And I'm about to laugh thinking about that. I want to say something, a little something about, no, I'm going to change that. Yeah, I'll stick with what I got here. Snowman's in my area saying, stick with where you're going. Oklahoma City does not deserve an NBA basketball team, and I'll tell you why. Once upon a time, they were the Seattle Supersonics. But the management in Seattle, in the latter part of their stay, where's this button at? It's right here. F***ed up everything. When I say they f***ed up everything, I mean they f***ed up everything. Just like the Cowboys have with their current regime, just like the, let me think on that a minute before I make another comparison. Oh, just like the Chicago Bears have done since 1985. They f***ed up everything. The Oklahoma City Thunder should not be in existence. They should still be the Seattle Supersonics. I blame the league for not stepping in time and building them an arena where they wouldn't have to go ask taxpayers for their money. It shouldn't be like that. These franchises are making money hand over fist. And since they're making money hand over fist, they need to build arenas for teams that want them. They shouldn't have to go through the taxpayers. The taxpayers are suffering enough as it is.
We're spending our hard-earned money in the mafia building these places.
Shut up. Nobody asked you. You keep the hell out when the commissioner's talking. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Oklahoma City Thunder. First of all, who came up with that name? Did they have a contest for that? and whoever won the contest got season tickets, I turn them down. I turn them down because I don't want anything to do with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, yes, they're playing good basketball right now, but I don't expect it to last. Nor do I expect the Cleveland Cadavers to continue to be undefeated. Cleveland is just lucky. They're lucky. They got one good win, and that unfortunately came against the Warriors. And they blew them out, too. We'll see them again. Now, listen. They need to do something right now and tell Oklahoma City and the Thunder to f*** off and return the team back to where it belongs, which is Seattle. Go! The Seattle Supersonics should still be in existence, by God. Not this Oklahoma City Thunder. When I say it's I mean it's nothing but what? I said it's once upon a time, the Thunder had Russell Westbrook and his career got ruined. Once upon a time, they had Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant got the f*** out in the nick of time and wound up winning 2 championships with the Warriors. Russell Westbrook is chasing the championship with the Denver Nuggets, and they're sitting near the bottom of the standings. Are they going to be able to compete for a championship? No. The Thunder, I beg your pardon, are not going to compete for a championship either. I want to know who the is this Shai Gilgeous-Alexander kid. They're ballyhooing him like he's an MVP candidate, which is bullshit.
Hey, SGA is doing pretty good, man.
I told you to shut up when I'm talking.
That was the Mafia Don, not me.
I told you to shut up when I'm talking, damn it. Well, I come back there and stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry. What? You heard what I said. What? Keep your mouth closed. Now, I'm just going to go on and get out of here. Now, I'm going to take us to break. But you never know when the commissioner will show up. I'll be back. And I think Snowman's ready to come back and reassume the chair, so I'll give it to him and I'll take y'all to break. What's he usually say? It's over here somewhere. What's he usually say? Oh yeah, he says this. He says this, back in the
Do you know what you're listening to?
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
You're listening to the Snowman in the Morning podcast.
Did you not get the memo?
Insanity ensues.
Can't wait.
Hold on to your hats, folks. It's the Token Female Alison Moran joining us from Chicago. Good morning, Allie. How are you?
Good morning, sweetheart. How are you doing?
We're doing great. Having a whole lot of fun. Telling folks what we got in store for the next 11 years of this show, and you're going to be a part of it.
Yes. I'm excited. Hey.
The Token Female has been a hit.
Yep.
All right? It's been a hit.
God bless you. Oh, thank you to everybody who thinks I'm a hit.
Yep.
Thank you. That's so kind of you. That's
it's been a hit.
It's a great way to wake up on Tuesday morning.
It's a hit. And you stand with us as long as this show is around. You have a spot on it. Period.
I am there with you, baby. All the way.
So there was something called the WNBA Draft Lottery, and I love the note that you put here, i.e., the Paige Beckers sweepstakes.
You got it.
It's all about Paige Beckers next spring.
Yes. Every lottery has a certain player that absolutely positively needs to get taken. Last year, it was all about Caitlin Clark, Ms. CC, Ms. I'm going to change the face of the WNBA forever and bring it into the forefront and love it. This year, it's Paige Beckers. She's two-time All-American from UConn, tutelage under Gino Auriemma, who's celebrating his 40th year. It'll be interesting to see if the Dallas Wings can make a good deal with her, because they're the ones who got the number 1 pick. Last year, it was the Indiana Fever's turn to win the lottery. And boy, did they.
The state of Indiana went crazy when they got the number 1 pick. And as soon as that was announced, everyone knew the pick was going to be Caitlin Clark. I mean, just beginning that day when they made the announcement.
Yes.
How fast will Caitlin Clark get to Indiana?
Yep.
We'll move her there. We'll fly her out first class. We're going to do everything it takes to get her out there. And let's say though, Brian, that is not necessarily a given that Paige is going to go straight to Dallas, because there could be a lot of wheedling and dealing between now and April. Sure. And I mean, that's how let's say the Bears traded up to get Mitch Trubisky. Yep. As I always say, they could have had him at number 8, but
Easy. They could have had him at number.
They could have had him at number 8.
Listen. They got fleeced by the 49ers.
They did.
Move up to select Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky would have been waiting there for them at 8. They did not need to make that deal at all.
They've been waiting. I mean, number 15. To my view, do you have your mic drop moment yet, or do I have to go on? No.
Every time you hear, we have mic drop moments, baby. Keep it coming. All right.
All right. We do it. To keep going on with this, the Los Angeles Sparks are picking at number 2. Number 3, Chicago Sky. Yep. Now, they've drafted at number 3 5 times before, including last year with Camila Cardoso. So not a bad pick there, right? Diamond DeShields, another good pick at 2018, and Courtney Vandersloot in 2011. And Christy Tolliver in 2009, and Arminty Harrington. Wonder whatever happened to her. In 2007. And so they actually have done pretty damn well with those picks. I have to say that. Now, one of the things that Tyler Marsh, the new Chicago Sky coach, said that he was going to be looking at shooters. Because, as you know, that was the main area of disappointment this year. The team made the fewest 3-pointers per game last season. And so it's going to be a priority. I'm gonna root for one person here who's at the top of their game right now, and that's Destiny Adams out of Rutgers.
Yes.
Think about it. She's averaging 27 points per game. And I'm just saying, Tyler, if you're listening to this show, as you will be very soon, it's going to be interesting. Now, Angel Reese made an interesting comment as well. She had said that Haley Van Lith, her former teammate at LSU, now playing for the TCU Horned Frogs, she had made sort of a cryptic comment the same night as the draft lottery, which was Sunday, and she said HVL all the way, something like that. Yeah, that's all I'ma say.
Yeah.
And vintage Angel Reese fashion, the one we'd come to know. And so we didn't know exactly what she meant by that. It could have been her great night as a TCU Horned Frog, but it could also have been, hey, Chicago Sky, I want to play with my old teammate.
Yep.
Now, interestingly enough, with the Chicago Sky as well, Tyler Marsh did not mention Kennedy Carter as in their in his introductory press conference last week. He said Camila Cardozo and Angel Reese are the ones we want to build around. Where's the Barbie and Ken show in all this?
There's Kennedy Carter.
He wouldn't say. So now I think that that's a bad choice, personally. I think that if he doesn't sign that triumphant, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, I'm sorry. This is not going to be a good thing to split up those guys ever. They created more excitement on the floor than anybody else.
They did. They really did. And they work well together. When they are like really in sync, they are great. They work great together. That's a frightening pick and roll duo with those two. So they need to stay together in Chicago.
They do. I mean, that's, find somebody else to join them. Pick a deep 3-point shooter. Who's the John Paxson of our days? Who's the Steve Kerr who can get us to where we want to go?
Why did she make me smile in mentioning John Paxson?
Who doesn't love John Paxson?
How many games have we seen John Paxson win for the Bulls? Right?
A lot. Yeah. Without his outside shot, the first 3 championships would have been very difficult to win. And so, that was his specialty. He was a great go-to for Jordan, as was Steve Kerr. At that time I was working for UPI radio, and I remember my boss calling me at like in the fourth quarter and saying, get out there, get some react. I was back in Chicago at the time, and my ex-husband, who I was with at the time, said to him, said loudly, "Tell them to go scratch." I can't do that. When the boss calls, you go.
And so did Paxson. Anybody remember this?
By 2. Has comes out of this possession. They want Michael to get a full head of steam, try to keep him in the middle of the floor. Well, Pippen got the snap. Here's Paxson for 3. Yes! The Bulls take a 1-point lead, and Phoenix calls for time. 3 and 9/10 seconds.
Why did Phoenix leave him that far open?
Because Barkley made a bad play.
Oh, he's going to kill
the team. And Allie, you and I have broken this down. The entire team expected Jordan to go all the way to the basket and then make the decision. They didn't figure on Scottie Pippen getting downhill, and then Barkley made a bad decision to go for a steal, and then Scottie Pippen's on the way. Then everybody crashes. Horace Grant gets a pass, and Paxson's just standing there wide open.
Exactly. And so that's why, You know, as much as they occasionally disparage 3-point shooting, you know, not taking it to the paint, you know, it's still it's a tremendous position, and it has won so many games, just as you just said. And so, yeah, this is I think that with that person who's going to come in for the Chicago Sky, I mean, they have got to draft well and draft a true shooter who can actually do it from the 3-point range. So they've missed that for a lot of seasons, not just this one. And I mean, they had Allie Quigley.
Championship. Yep, their WNBA championship season. It was Allie Quigley, Courtney Vandersloot, and of course Candace Parker lent a hand from 3-point range.
Yes.
When they made their first appearance in 2014, it was the ability of Elena Deladon at the center position to stretch the floor.
Yes.
So they need that. An unrivaled update. Teresa Witherspoon is back as a coach, and the league will play all their games in Miami.
Welcome back to Coach Spoon, the legend. Yes, as a matter of fact, last Friday they announced all the coaches. This is one of the great things about having Spoon is how fierce she is and how dedicated she is to the players. And I think that this is going to be terrific for her. I mean, she deserved a spot. We've all talked about the fact that she was not given her due as the Chicago Sky. It was kind of pathetic that they let her go.
They didn't give her a chance.
No.
They gave her 1 year, and they had so much turbulence in that 1 year, and they did not give her a chance to settle that turbulence and really leave her mark on the Sky. I don't think it was fair.
And shame on them. Shame on them for not doing what right by her. And I think that she's going to excel here. They haven't been assigned the teams yet or anything like that, but some of the other coaches are pretty damn good in their own right. You've got Phil Handy, you've got Adam Harrington, Nola Henry, DJ Sackman, Andrew Wade, and Witherspoon. And so the one thing that the officials focused on is really experience in player development, which is so key. And all of these coaches have got some really great experience. Like, for example, Phil Handy is an NBA assistant coach, and he has championship titles under his belt from the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Toronto Raptors, and the Los Angeles Lakers. So that ain't a bad resume there. Adam Harrington is worked as an assistant coach and is the director of player development for the Brooklyn Nets. Nola Henry was a Los Angeles Sparks coach back in 2023, and also has worked with the Connecticut Sun and the University of Hartford. So DJ Sackman is an NBA and WNBA skills coach. He's renowned for his work with over, get this, Brian, 15,000 coaches, players globally from camps, clinics. Nice to have all those little kids running around. Yeah, we're so close out here. I'm in Lisle this morning, and we have the Bull Sox Academy like down the road from us, which is pretty cool. So, and Andrew Wade spent 6 years as a player development coach with the Washington Mystics. So you've got a tremendous roster, and there's a little more about these guys as well. They are playing all of their games in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They are playing 8 weeks. So if anybody wants to get some sun and go down there for about 8 weeks, they're playing in the old Miami Soul. If you'll remember them ages ago from the WNBA,
Yes, I do.
in their old stadium. So it'll. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's Kyocera or something like that. And let's remind everybody also of the names of the teams. We have the Laces. We have the Mist. We have the Rose. We have the Lunar Owls, the Phantom, and the Vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they came up with these names, but
I swear they were asleep.
Yeah,
They were
That,
asleep.
or they were either asleep or looking through the new D&D book.
And they said,
I think you're right, buddy.
And they said, "Oh, a lunar owl. That'll work."
I'm sorry, but what the hell is a lunar owl?
I gotta. We can phrase it a better way. Chris,
What in the all types of blue hell
is a lunar owl?
It's crazy. I love it. I do.
What? This goes down with some of the craziest mascot names that I had when I was covering high school sports in Chicago for many, many years. And I'll never forget, on the show that I hosted at Chicago State, we had a segment where we just talk about all the different weird nicknames for teams in sports. There are two that are in Chicago, three actually. There are three that are in Chicago that I will never forget. You have, dear God help me, the Bloom Township Blazing Trojans.
Oh dear
I'm not
God!
making this up, folks. And how that name came to be, there were two different schools. You had Bloom Trail and Bloom High School. Bloom Trail, of course, had the Trailblazers, and Bloom High had the Trojans. For some god-awful reason, they decided to consolidate and put them together. They put them together, and then the Blazing Trojans show up. I was stringing with the Tribune in 2002, and they sent me to a game at Bloom Township. So I begged my dad. I said, "Dad, can I use the car, please?" He let me use the car. I drove to Bloom Township. I saw the mascot come in. I called my boss and I said, "Are you kidding me?" And he said, "Bloom Township has one of the best teams in the area." I understand that, but I saw the mascot. He started laughing. My boss did, and hung up the phone. I sat through that, and then I found out about, Lord have mercy, the Hoopston Corn Jerkers.
God, that beats my South Carolina Gamecocks.
What? Folks, Hoopston, Illinois. Hoopston, Illinois. I got to say it right. Hoopston, Illinois.
Well, basketball town. What do you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they have the Hoopston Corn Jerkers. The first time I heard that name, and I'm sitting in the
I need to know how that made through the school board. I just don't know. Poor Brian is frozen on air right now. I think it's up to you and me. What do you think? It could be. Oh, they're both off. It's me solo today. Yes. Oh, well, my moment of glory is over now. But, oh, wow. Honey, It's you and me. We're alone now. Something I prayed for forever. So here's the deal. Brian, are you actually
I'm
back
here.
now?
I'm
You
here.
are. Okay. I thought I was going to have to carry the show alone, which is fine by me. I can do it. I've
No,
done
you
that
can't.
before. But
Folks,
it's
the hoops and corn jerkers, and then you couple that with the Cobden apple knockers.
I hate to say that
How
sounds
many
like a
jokes
porn
can you
nickname.
make with corn jerkers and apple knockers?
That sounds like a porn nickname, Brian.
What? What?
That's our mic drop moment, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love that. How do they get these names through the school board? Don't they have to put that up?
I have one worse. I have one worse than that. And to our radio audience, y'all need to listen carefully. All right? Because we're not trying to break any rules here. But I was working at, and Victor remembers this moment because he was with me. I was at, we were at Ho Chunk Sports Complex. And we were talking about different nicknames. We had a break in between games. I had a parent come up to me and says, I have one that'll top both of those. And I'm already shaking. I'm going, oh boy. All right, lay it on me. She said, I want you to listen carefully and think about it. The Fulton Unity Christian Knights. Anybody who's paying attention, thank you. You caught the joke. Thank you.
Fulton Unity Christian Knights.
You know, for those who didn't get the first letter.
Hang on a sec. You know what? You know what? All I gotta say is
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I want to know who came up with that. How did that get through the school board? I decided to take the joke a little further because I'm familiar with the city of Seattle. And the city of Seattle, as a friend told me, I'm not making this up, folks. They introduced a rail system back in 2007, I think, 2007 or 2008. And it was, Shane, hold on to your seats. Everybody hold on to their seats for this. It was called the South Lake Union Transit. When they first introduced it, I'm not making, folks, I'm not making this up. When they first introduced it, they were selling T-shirts the first year. What did it say on the shirt? Come ride the, you can fill in the blank.
Love it. I love it. That is just the best.
When that parent came up to me and gave me the Fulton Unity Christian Knight, I was under the table laughing. I was done. I was done. Then this happened. Talk about names. I had a parent come up to me. His kid was at her kid was at the plate, and his last name was Sample. Keep that in mind. His last name was Sample. His mother comes up to me and says, I have a funny story for you. And you know when someone says something to you like that, your spider senses go completely off and you have a feeling you're going to be laughing like crazy. So she starts to tell me about how she met her husband in medical school and all this. And I'm thinking, Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? In the middle of that explanation came this sentence. Now, keep in mind, the kid's name was Sample. Her last name was Sample. Then she spits out to me, and God help me if I'm lying. I'm not. This was 2007. She says to me, because my maiden name was Seaman.
No.
I am not kidding.
Oh, God.
The kid's name was Ryan Sample. His mother said her maiden name, and before she even told me the story, Ryan's grandmother was telling her, "Don't do it. He'll run with it. Don't do it." She told me, and then she said my maiden name was Seaman. I was under the table roaring. Victor thought something was wrong because he saw tears in my eyes because I had been laughing for the past 20 minutes.
That is so crazy.
Victor comes running over from his field. He's like, Brian, are you okay? And I just look at him and go, I'm fine, dude. I've been laughing. And he said, you better tell me when we get out of here. Now, our umpire, my home plate umpire on that field pulled off his mask, and there were tears streaming down his face.
Mm-hmm.
I said, did you hear? He stopped me before I completed my question, and he said, I heard every single word. 6 years, that was 2007. 6 years later, I'm covering Trinity International. We're getting ready to play Olivet Nazarene. I'm doing my notes. I'm getting my spot boards ready. And I look at the quarterback for Olivet Nazarene, and it is none other than Ryan Sample. Oh, hell.
You're talking about Deerfield, right?
I called Victor. I said, Victor, you're not going to believe this. He said, what? I said, you won't believe the name of the quarterback for the Olivet Nazarene Tigers, who Trinity International is playing this weekend. He said, who's that? I said, does the name Ryan Sample mean anything to you? He hung up. Called me back, and he said, say that again? I said, the quarterback for Olivet Nazarene is Ryan Sample. He hung up again. I'm in the middle of doing research, thinking, okay, is this the same kid I had 6 years ago? Sure enough, it was. Because all I had to see was Manteno, Illinois, and Manteno was the travel team he played with. Victor called me back, and he goes, Ryan Sample. I said, yes, him. And Victor goes, how are you going to get through this game on Saturday? I don't know. I don't know. I have to say Sample back to pass a few times. And he said, don't let it be more than 30. You know, Ryan threw the ball 51 times in that game.
Wow.
Every time I said Sample back to pass, I had to hold my stomach. Because I remember that story. And the kicker, the cherry on top of this, they made it to Jay Leno's headlines, and I saw it live.
Love it. How could they not? How could they not? That is just how that works.
The Women's Hall of Fame, let's try to calm down here. The Women's Basketball Hall of Fame has been announced, and Allie's on top of that story.
You got it. Big congratulations to Sue Bird, Sylvia Fowles, Cappy Pondexter, and Alana Beard heading to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2025. And just multiple time All-Stars and champions at both the collegiate and the WNBA level. it's about time. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
And so, I regretted the day for many years when Sylvia Fowles left the Chicago Sky.
Yeah.
And I have a really funny story, if I can say it.
Go ahead.
And I think you were there with me. Remember when Cappy Pondexter was on the New York Liberty and Bill Lambier was the coach?
Yeah.
Well, I had mispronounced the name as Poindexter, and Bill Lambier looked at me and he goes, "I have no player by the name of Cappy Poindexter. I have." My late husband Ted was there too. He's going and he's saying under his breath, "Hey, don't treat her like a jerk like that." Yeah, and a little more salty language, but I'm not sure if it'll make it through the FCC.
I remember that.
Yes, and this went on for like 3 minutes. I have no player, but and finally he says, "I have a player named Cappy Pondexter." Going, screw you, Lambier.
And I was there for that.
Yeah.
And as soon as you said Poindexter, I shut my mouth.
Yeah.
I was not getting in, especially with Bill Lambier.
You're the only one who could have taken him on. You were the only one tall enough.
Bill Lambier?
Yeah. We stand up for each other, Brian Snow.
I know that.
Yeah.
But there's a huge problem. Bill Lambier is 6'10".
Yes, he is.
5. He would have squeezed me like a grape.
At least he finally answered the question.
Yes.
At least.
And you know what? Credit to Bill Lambier. He had so much fun with that.
He did.
He had so much fun with that. Your late husband was thinking that he was really mad, but Lambier was joking around with it the whole time. And I knew it. That's the thing. I knew it.
He just liked to jerk with people. That's all. That's what Bill is good for. Even back when he was at Notre Dame, he really killed the DePaul Blue Demons every time, and every Blue Demon hated him, as I recall.
Yeah.
Scared the crap out of me when he was with the Detroit Pistons, and
me too. Me too.
he was nuts. But should say that as far as the Hall of Famers go, they're going to be inducted in a June 14th ceremony at the Tennessee Theater in Knoxville. So they are just an amazing group of women, and so excited that these players are getting their due. Because each and every one of them
absolutely deserves it. Absolutely, they do.
I should also say real quick that are we almost out of time?
We're just about out of time.
Okay. The NWSL Championship starts Saturday, November 23rd, this Saturday. Washington Spirit versus Orlando Pride. Sadly, they're going to be in Kansas City, the home of the Current. So all of the Current players are going to be, gosh, wish we were here. But, they didn't quite get there, but they will someday.
Yeah,
but
they will.
My money's on the Orlando Pride.
Yeah,
all the way.
That's where my money is.
All
right, we're out of time. And boy, there's going to be one day, I'm going to tell you, there's going to be an extended segment with Allie. I promise you that. But she's here with us every Tuesday. Thank you very much, my dear. We love you, and we'll see you later.
Love you. We love you too. Take care.
There may be a bonus segment, but it'll have to come later. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope you all are too. So long, everybody.